following presentation is brought to you by the Alberta Podcast Network. Welcome to the Northern Nerdcast, the podcast that showcases the geeky, nerdy people, groups, and events in and around the city of Edmonton. Northern Nerdcast is a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. Visit their website at albertapodcastnetwork.com. If you like the show, we invite you to share it on all of your social media platforms and help grow our community of geeky, nerdy people, groups, and events in and around the city of Edmonton. Would you like to be a contributor to the show? For more information, visit our website at northernnerdnetwork.com. And now, here's the host of the show, Dan Schessel.
All right, so I want to welcome everyone back to another fantastic episode of the Northern Nerdcast. My name is, of course, Dan Schessel, and as always, we have none other than the loveliest co-hostess that you can possibly want in the world. That'd be Chelsea. Chelsea Thompson, say hello.
Hi, guys. Man, one of these days, Dan, you're just going to my head is just going to explode.
Yeah.
From all the high praise you shower upon me. And it'll happen live at the beginning of one of these shows. It'll just be like the Blueberry Girl in
Willy Wonka?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Violet Beauregard. Yeah.
I'm surprised you couldn't figure out the name of the movie, but you managed to get the name of the girl. Very good, Chelsea. You never cease to amaze me.
I'm great for useless trivia like that.
And today on the show, we have the fine folks from Take 20. We got Jason, Jonathan, Dareth, and Jake joining us tonight. Say hello, everyone.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Glad to be here.
We are super excited to have you guys joining us tonight. We are going to talk quite a bit about what you guys are, what you do, all that kind of stuff a little bit later on in the show. But first off, we like to ask all of our guests, and we like to really get down to the soul of each person that we have here on this show by asking each individual what they have on their geek shelf. So I'm going to start with Jason here. Jason, what do you have on your geek shelf?
Well, I have a lot of stuff. We just got a set of brand new dice from Encounter Roleplay from Will at Encounter Roleplay a couple of weeks ago, last week or so. And they're Tomb of Annihilation dice. And they're awesome.
That is pretty awesome. What do they look like? What kind of dice are these?
Well, they're just the standard set of polyhedrals, and they got an extra, 4d6 in them?
Yeah, there's 4d6 in them.
That's for extra damage, right?
I am not too familiar with D&D system, so.
Well, excuse me. They oh my gosh. Anyway, thanks. No, they came in a really great tin. I sent you a picture. They came in a really great tin, Tomb of Annihilation tin, and they are. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna have anyway. No, they're really great.
Yes, I see that. Okay, hang on 2 seconds. See if I can do
gray in color, and they're absolutely smashing looking. We absolutely love them. They are terrific.
They look amazing, actually. I may be able to get it so that people can actually see what these things look like here.
They're pretty amazing. That's just one of many little things we have on our geek shelf here. So,
so I'm gonna pass it off to Jonathan?
Yes.
What do you have on your geek shelf?
So, compared to these guys, I am significantly less of a nerd, but I do have my own. I do have my own little collection of posters and such. So I've got a few Doctor Who posters up on the wall, and nothing too special.
Are you
own a sonic screwdriver?
I do not.
How much into Doctor Who are you? That's what the next question we should be asking here.
How much into Doctor Who are we?
Yeah.
aside from the most recent addition to the final, to what is it, season 11, I believe, I all caught up. I've kind of fallen out of it a little bit just because of other things in life, like
life.
Yeah, life. Compared to you guys, like, yeah, I'm much less
Like
into it.
stuff.
I'm more of I'm more of a motorhead. I like working on cars and stuff, so I end up out doing other stuff.
That's awesome. All right, I cannot figure out how to get this picture to come up.
No sharing today.
No, apparently not.
We could probably bring it down at some point later and show it to the camera.
Yeah, cool. So let's move on. Let's get that out of the way. Sorry, I'm all over the place this morning or this evening. Dareth, what I'm gonna call you like 6 different things. Dareth, what is on your shelf?
Well, I've got a large collection of just random things from mystery boxes and whatnot. I've got a large collection of Halo figurines from the Halo Legendary crate from Loot Crate, which is fantastic. But I think the most notable thing is just my collection of Dragonite plushies. Dragonite is just my favorite Pokemon, so if it has a Dragonite on it, I probably own it. I've got about 40 different Dragonite plushies of various sizes, of different colors. I even got a little green one, so it's the shiny version. I've got a Dragonite lanyard for my keys. I even got a little Dragonite plushie hanging from my rearview mirror in my car.
He does.
Nice.
Yeah. So for those who don't know what Dragonite is, what is a Dragonite?
Dragonite is a Pokemon. It's from the first generation of Pokemon.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, it was one of the most powerful Pokemon until, what was it, 5th or 6th generation, when they brought out the Trump card, which is the fairy type, not actually Donald Trump. But that came out the generation next. Yeah, so he's the 3rd evolution of a relatively uncommon Pokemon type, and it's just adorable.
Oh, there it is.
Ooh, we have a picture of the dice up.
The dice is there.
There they are. That's them, and they're absolutely amazing.
They do look absolutely amazing, and I also have this. There you go.
There's plushies.
There's all the plushies. So there we go.
Yeah.
I did figure this out. It takes me a little bit. Sometimes technology baffles me.
And if you notice on the photo there's actually Pikachu dressed up as a Dragonite.
I can
as well.
see that. I really like the nice touch of Pikachu dressing up like a Dragonite.
Day 493. They still do not know that I am not a Dragonite.
I have infiltrated their ranks.
I will destroy them all. They will be my minions.
Awesome. All right. So, Jake, you being the last guy here, what's on your shelf?
So this was a hard decision, actually. I was looking at my Funko Pops. I've started collecting them.
Oh, you went down that black hole.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware.
I'm so sorry for you.
So
be affiliated.
I was able to get 2 of the Overwatch Funko Pops at the same time because somebody at EV Games forgot to grab theirs. 16-inch, I think it is, Diva statues. It's wonderful. I love it to bits.
You got a free one?
No, it was like an extra $50.
Is the newly released handsome Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park going to be in addition to your collection?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes, it is.
Handsome Jeff Goldblum.
Yes, it is.
Has he ever been really that handsome? Honestly.
Has he ever really been not that handsome?
I'm not too far down the rabbit hole yet. I currently only have 3.
Oh, come on. You swallowed the pill. You jumped right in.
He's not as bad as Yummy R6 yet, though.
What do you mean you only have 3?
I have...
And you call that a collection?
It's starting.
Like, I don't even actually
Welcome
go out of
to
my
our
way, and
Thursday night
with, like,
gaming
4 of
table,
them.
guys. This is
Nerdy
how it goes.
back talk for the win.
This stuff
It was
goes
either
on
that
all the time.
or the Shrek Treasure Hunt PS1 game.
Nice.
Or all the Lego.
Oh yeah, I also have several Lego sets, like the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, it's great.
Lego is good.
Lego is
Awesome.
cool.
Lego is timeless. You can always have you can't have it too much Lego. Except for if you're in my house, that's too much Lego.
I will be 80 and on my deathbed before I stop playing with Lego.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I have kids, and now I get to play with their Lego. So
That's awesome.
It's just an excuse, right? They get Lego so that you get Lego. Really, that's what it really is. Right?
That's how it works.
Aren't you too old to be playing with Lego? No, I have children.
No,
Yeah.
I have kids.
It says 4+.
I'm getting really kind of sad though, because right now my kid knows how to put all his sets together now, so he doesn't want me to do it. So
I know how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart a little. He also knows how to play video games now on his own. And he doesn't want me to play with him anymore. So
yeah, I had the same problem.
That's
both of them.
That's why we play Assassin's Creed every Saturday.
He plays, I get to commentate.
Yeah, that's how it works.
So
instead of him like handing me the controller to let me play, he now takes the controller from me.
Yeah, I don't even
start off with it.
I just give it to him, and it's like he plays and everybody watches and I commentate, and that's about it.
And I get mad.
And then he gets mad.
That's awesome. All right, so Chelsea, how was your week?
My week's been pretty good. Yeah, I had a couple of different days doing background work on a couple of different TV shows shooting in town, which is always a super fun time. And today I went to Fighting for Film class, which is always a really fun, always a really fun class. You know me and my penchant for liking beating people up for fakesies, so that's always a good time. Yeah, pretty mellow week otherwise. How about you, Dan? How was your week?
My week was pretty good. We got to hang out with Marcus on Friday night because it was his birthday on Friday, so we got to go celebrate his birthday and sort of celebrate mine at the same time. We went out for tapas that night, and we got to he actually hosted us a Star Wars RPG night, so that was a lot of fun. So I actually got to play this time.
Woohoo!
Which is something I don't normally get to do. I've been
normally our GM,
typically GMing for the campaigns. So it was kind of nice to be able to get a chance to actually sit down and actually play and really mess with the way he is GMing. So it was great.
What character did you build yourself?
I didn't build anything. Like he had them all pre-made because it was all just kind of a one-shot deal.
Which one did you end up with? Which one did you pick?
I ended up with the face of the party. It was he had a bunch of Jawas. It was a tribe of Jawas that worked for a hut, and we were tasked to go and steal something from another hut, and that's basically what we were tasked with. And so I was the patriarch of the family, and I was the chatty, talkative kind. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. We stole a droid right off the hop. Got into lots of trouble. It was always great. I love playing Star Wars, and I love to I like to be as crazy as possible. And yeah, I love that system. It's so great. What else? That's pretty much it. Like we had a fairly quiet week this week.
Well, and I hear there's been an outbreak of the flu in your household.
Yeah, Trina's been a little sick. I've been working the last I had to work last weekend. I had to work this weekend. Been kind of going nonstop here. So I'm trying to avoid Trina
so that you don't get sick.
so I don't get sick. So that when I do get some time off, that I don't end up being sick, because that's how it usually works, right? Like as soon as I have a little bit of a break, it gets a little bit. That's usually when I get sick, is when I get a little a bit of a break. I would like to mention to everybody out there that we do have a chat feature here on the Nerdcast. I see some people in there chatting right away in there. So you guys can make comments as we do the show. It is a live show. So if you guys want to join us at any time, we always do this show right at 8 o'clock on Sunday nights, except for on long weekends. But you guys can always come and join us and become a part of this conversation. So we do put this out as a podcast later, so that you guys can listen to this at your leisure. And that is it. But we do have some people in there chatting. We have Aaron, our longtime listener. He said he got the flu, his third flu. He's running every time I talk to him. He's got another flu.
Womp womp. Feel better, Aaron.
Yeah. And apparently Captain Emo has 10. All right. So we are. I think we should take a quick little break. How does that sound, Chelsea?
Excellent. Let's do it.
All right. We're the first one.
Perfect.
All right. So, Chelsea, did you know that ATB is a proud sponsor of many of the events that we like to attend?
I did know that, Dan, but not only that, they're also involved with a whole bunch of new and up-and-coming projects, just like the Alberta Podcast Network.
That's right. And it's incredible to see the involvement that they have right here in our very own backyard.
Absolutely. And that's just one of the many ways that ATB sets itself apart from the other big financial institutions in the province. Because you can see your money in action supporting amazing projects happening right here in Alberta.
Exactly. And it's all part of their initiative called ATB Listens.
That's right. And if our lovely listeners and viewers want more info about how ATB listens and all the great projects they support in Alberta, they can go to atb.com/listens to find out more.
That's right. So go on over to atb.com/listens. All right. So like I said, we do have our very wonderful and special guests joining us today. We have Jason, Jonathan, Dareth, and Jake from Take 20. So I'm going to ask you guys, what is Take 20?
I'll let Johnny answer that question real quick.
So Take 20 is kind of the result of a long time of just spending time together. You know, we were trying to get back into D&D. My dad, Jason, he wanted to kind of recapture his childhood a little bit. And so we went down to a store on White Ave and we picked up several AD&D modules and we started playing with that. And it kind of just progressed from there to the point where, hey, maybe we can start something out of this. We definitely take some inspiration from Acquisitions Incorporated. And we, after seeing them kind of doing it, we thought, hey, maybe we can get in on this as well. We saw a trend starting to grow where people were getting back into board games. So why not give Dungeons and Dragons a try? So we took the group that we already had and we just set up a camera and started going. And it's been kind of snowballing a little bit. And we're really happy to see that the growth that we've had, and it's turning into a positive community.
It really is. it really has turned into a very positive community. We've seen our Twitter followers, we've seen our Twitter growth grow exponentially over just in the last 6 months. We've gone from 600 followers to almost, well, tonight it's just over 1,100.
That's incredible.
Nice.
And we have Captain Emo is in your chat right now.
Yep.
He is
Number one
fan. He's like the man. And you know, we, like I said, JT at Watto Jeff is like, we're his number one fan. He's come and done a couple of sessions for us, some one-off adventures that he wanted to try some of his own stuff with, and we just love him. We think the world of him, and he reminds me of what Dungeons and Dragons is supposed to be all about. So, and it's community, and that's what it's all about. I met JT online, actually in the D&D Beyond chat room, and it just grew from there. And we've had him here in Studio A upstairs, and we've done a couple of sessions there and put him on YouTube, and it's just growing. It's really super positive. Lots of good people. We have some really great friends in the Lore Maidens in the UK, and they're gang of just wonderful role players over there. So, and there's tons of them. We could sit here all night, and I could name like a ton of different role playing, like RPG 5e podcasts and webcasts that are absolutely terrific, and it's very supportive. It's a very supportive community. So we've seen nothing but growth and encouragement from the community around us.
That's awesome. And we've had, if you guys go back, not very far, actually, we've had JT actually on our show. And he is absolutely fantastic. You're right. He did come over, and I met him over at, I think it was at Edmonton Expo when I actually first got to actually meet him. And he's a pretty awesome guy.
He's super.
So let me ask you guys, why D&D? Like, what made it so that you guys wanted to do D&D online?
Well, like I said before there, my dad really kind of wanted to do something from his childhood. So I
wanted to start playing D&D again.
We agreed with it, and we all really enjoyed it. And Dareth already had an interest in it. So when we got him involved, that was really awesome. And then our other good friend, Jeff, got involved, and
Rob,
or who did I say?
Jeff,
Rob,
who is not here with us tonight. We just love to have
him. And so,
him.
yeah, after playing that first game, we all kind of just grew an attachment to it.
That was a few years ago. So the kids were still like, we had some other kids at the table at the time too.
Still in high school.
Yeah, the kids were still in high school, and we just wanted to have a way to reconnect with kids a little bit. I know that's kind of what was part of my motivation anyway, was to reconnect with both my boys. And so we started playing AD&D again. And then I was looking at 5e thinking, do I really want to invest in another gaming system that I know I'm playing it that way already? Like, we've been playing 5e. We've been playing the 5e rules, or I have anyway, since about 1986. The rules started for us, the group I was with back in Manitoba years ago. We started bending and shaping rules way back in the day. So we just started with we started with A&D, and then we decided, we'll play some 5e. We were talking with Dareth, and I asked Dareth if, hey, do you want to come and play? And we started a 5e game, and it went from there. And then we decided, I guess, hey, do we want to do this online? And we were all like, do we?
We've been streaming for what, a year now?
Just over.
Yeah, we've been streaming for just over a year, and we were just uploading before that for a few months before as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we decided, well, everybody else seems to be live streaming. Well, why don't we? So every second Thursday night, we go head to head with Matthew Mercer. And we probably get our, heinies handed to us because let's face it, Matthew's very good at what he does.
Yes.
And those guys have been playing together for a long time, and they're very good. And I do so enjoy their campaign.
That's awesome. We do have a grudge match happening in our chat right now. We have Aaron, who's the Northern Nerd super fan, versus Captain Emo, who is a Take 20 super fan.
Emo,
it's friendly. It's a friendly thing going on there. It's pretty good to watch.
Behave yourself, Emo.
It's always nice when chat gets involved and
that's
kind of manages itself out.
That's the fun part.
It is great having good fans. We've been super lucky on our side as well because over the years we've had just amazing.
Our fans are awesome.
Yeah, and the nice thing is because we're so very much a local podcast that we get to actually meet a lot of our fans or the people who are that we talk to all the time. At the various conventions and things like that we go to all the time. So it's always good to actually, talk to the people as well.
Well, and I mean, we've been super lucky. I mean, I'm home less. I'm out of Vancouver. I'm home less, but the ability to be able to actually meet the fans who tune in and listen to us has produced, fans that have become friends, like Aaron, who was at our last board game night at your house playing Artemis with us, right?
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like we're here as part of the Northern Nerd Network, and the whole goal is to make not just fans but friendships, right?
Like you guys mentioned earlier, build that community, right? Really have that sense of camaraderie amongst people with these awesome shared likes.
Absolutely. And I think in our community, because I don't know, there's not, like, if you look at the Edmonton area, how much really is going on compared to how much that could be going on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of room for growth here and adding more and more people to our, this wonderful little community of ours.
So I'm going to pass over to Jake here. I want to ask you something real quick. What makes it so that what brings you back to the table each week?
The chaos. My party hates me for it, absolutely despises me. But if you watch me play my character, if you watch me do anything in the game, it's just to raise chaos. I've stolen bags that are worth literally thousands of gold. I've considered poisoning my entire party and stealing all their stuff several times.
Hasn't one of your characters tried to eat someone?
Oh yeah, and one of my characters turned into a tree and then tried to eat our ranger.
That seems very plausible. I believe it.
So in your pursuit for ultimate chaos and anarchy, do you have a particular race or class that you'd like to play that you find facilitates that the best?
Are the wild card of any D&D game because they're so abundant.
I don't like humans for that.
Humans are in such abundance in the world we play in that you could meet a human one day that's super nice, super sweet, and then the next day, a human that would cut your head off the moment he sees you.
Fair enough.
As my character has grown through over our year, he has developed into a more of a team player, but he still loves chaos. He still loves seeing everybody fight. He really enjoys making Jonathan's character mad.
Yeah, I'd say that the majority of the conflict comes between our two characters within the game.
Is that just brotherly love?
He's just a thick-headed barbarian. I'm
think
a cunning thief. So that clashes quite a bit.
And I'm the poor cleric that gets stuck between them.
Yeah.
just as he is now.
So I'm going to ask you, Dareth, what brings you each week to the table?
Oh, I love D&D. I just can't get enough of it. I love to play support characters, so I'm perfect in a team environment. So I come in and I play the cleric and I do the whole healing thing. But I even run my own game at home for my players. And I'm trying to get together another game that I can play on Tuesday nights as well online with Roll20. So shout out to everyone out there who wants to play. Look me up. But I love D&D. It's just, I don't know. I've always been interested in a fantasy setting. Ever since I was about 9 years old is when I first picked up my first R.A. Salvatore novel. Started with Homeland, and I just read through everything, and I just fell in love with the world.
That's awesome. And how about yourself there, Jonathan? What brings you back?
Really, it's just the fact of having something to do for me. I wish I could say more, but my latest career choice takes me out of town quite a bit, so it was nice being able to come home and have something to do with other people other than just being depressed for a week waiting to go back to work.
True enough.
So let me ask you guys, doing Take 20, what kind of things have you guys you've obviously seen some growth in your community, but what kind of things like brings you back to doing this every single week online? Like why do you guys keep doing it? Like why do you make yourself go online? Like what drew you to do that in the first place? Maybe
I sent out a tweet today. And we started, it just says something to the effect that we started something a year ago and we didn't know if it was going to work. We still don't know if it's going to work. But for me, I'm having fun doing it. I set up the camera, I set up the studio every week. And every week I know at least somebody, one or two people are going to be in chat. Somebody's going to watch. And at some point, if we can bring a smile, myself or one of the boys, if something we do in character or around the table can bring a smile or just change somebody's day for the positive, maybe lift someone up, maybe make them forget about the guy at work that just hammered on them or something, and just take them out of their world for a couple hours. If we can do that, just for a couple hours, if we can affect just one person positively, I think we've done our job. I'm not sure, but it's called being a world changer, but you're not changing the world. You're just affecting the people that are a part of yours for a momentary bit of time, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it is for me. Just being able to set it up. These guys just show up. They want to play D&D.
So I guess along those same veins, Jason, when you were younger and were first introduced to D&D, was that a world-changing moment for yourself?
It was. When you're a 10-year-old boy and it's 1981 and you see the original red box and you see that dragon right there, that's the original red box. And in 1981, when I saw that book, I was like, what? And my cousin was taking me over to our friend's place, and I'm like questioning him about the rules. What kind of game is it? Like, what are the rules? Is it hard? He's like, shut up. You're just going to have fun. And I'm like, okay. And we had a blast. And it's like, wow. And as I grew up, you learn more about the game, but you learn more about people and you get introduced to more people. And it does. It changes your life. For me, it helped me to learn how to read.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, hearing issues caused me to have poor reading skills. But once you have to learn how to read to create characters or build a dungeon, or when you have to start reading rules to learn how to do these things, when you have to open a dungeon master's guide and go, how do I build a dungeon? And you start reading, you start reading, and you start reading. Yeah, it changed my world for the better. It brought me closer to people. And that's the beauty part of Dungeons and Dragons or any role-playing game. You guys know, you play Star Wars. When you sit around the table and you look somebody else in the eye, there is not just spoken communication, there's unspoken communication, and there's fellowship, and there's sharing, and there's growth. You can make the person across the table from you either mad or happy, or there's emotions, and these things are, whether they're good or bad, they're always positive for growth. So yeah, it changed my world.
Nice. So related to that, as the younger generation comes along and comes up, I guess this is for all three of you guys, was your dad or Jason your first exposure to D&D, or was it on your radar before then? And what was it like the first time you played a game?
So my first exposure to Dungeons and Dragons, like I kind of grew up knowing that it was out there, and I saw that it had been rendered into a video game, into an MMORPG. So I gave that a try and didn't enjoy it. It just wasn't for me. But then, as I got a little bit older from that, and then he was like, "Hey, do you guys want to play D&D?" It was that simple. It was one question. That was it. And it was like, yeah, sure, why not? Try something different. You know, it's something I grew up hearing about, you know, him enjoying it as a kid. And it's like, maybe I'll enjoy it. Good way to hang out, have fun. And it just progressed from there.
How about you guys?
How about you, Jake?
I guess I'll go. It actually wasn't my dad who first got me into D&D. I had a group of 3 friends who all started on 4th edition of D&D. And they invited me out one day. Why don't you come build a character? So I built the coolest character ever. He was like this werewolf type dude who ripped faces off people.
Yes.
Again, a very chaotic character. But it wasn't until a few months later where that game had actually ended. We stopped playing. It wasn't until about a month after we stopped playing when Jason, my dad, said, "Hey, why don't you play a game with me?" I'm like, "Sure. I know these rules." It's like, whatever, we'll learn new rules. So, whole new rules, whole new start. Built another chaotic character, a thief, and I have not stopped playing thieves ever since.
How about you, Jared?
For me, like I've already mentioned, I grew up reading the books, but my circle of friends has never been interested in that kind of a fantasy area. Like I've had friends that are interested in the games, or friends that are just completely different areas. But I've always grown up, and like when I was growing up, I always wanted to get in with D&D, but I just couldn't find a group. So one day, I was at a market somewhere, and I found this D&D video game, Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows of Om. I bought that, loaded it up on my mom's old let's see, yeah, that's back when we still had a Windows XP computer. Ran that thing up, and I spent hours playing that. Of course, being 12. It took me a while to get a hang of it, and I was terrible at it. But I stopped playing that for a few years. And one day I'm just having a chat with Jay, and I had I actually had a Dungeons and Dragons t-shirt on. And he says, "Hey, you're into Dungeons and Dragons?" I said, "Yeah, I've never actually played a game though." And he says, "Well, come on over, just join us at the table." So I came in, I made a character, and I just started playing, and it was fantastic. Like as soon as I started playing, it just blew my mind just how, because I always knew D&D was going to be a lot of fun, but I never really expected it to be as fun as it actually is, and I just instantly fell in love with it.
That's awesome. I heard you talk about Baldur's Gate. We actually had Beamdog on the show at one point, and I know they have another expansion coming out for Baldur's Gate as well.
Yeah.
The next little bit. If not, it's already out. I'm not sure. I'll have to go double check that. But that's the thing, right? Like when you are, you don't, like, for people who are out there who may be listening to the show or watching the show, we here on the Northern Nerd Network, we are very big proponents of RPGs and tabletop games and role playing, and that is because it is an experience unlike no other. When you sit down at a table and you get around with your friends and you start making up stories and you start coming up with different things, it is so much fun. It's hard to explain to a lot of people sometimes who may not understand or know or are outside of that realm, what exactly playing an RPG is like. But you said it right there. It's just fun, right? Like it's just one of those things that it's great. I've only played a couple of games of actual D&D in my life, and I've played a lot of Star Wars RPG. But the thing that I like about RPGs is that no matter which one you play, yeah, they still kind of run on the same lines. Like, let me just do what I'm going to do, and let's see how the mechanics work within that realm. So that's the thing that I like, is that I can be able to tell a story no matter what system I'm playing in. And it's awesome. But let me ask you guys, like, for all the people out there who are perhaps looking for a group or someone that, what kind of advice would you give people for starting their own RPG at home?
Just do it. Get yourself, go to the gaming store, ask questions, right? Find out what you're interested in. Are you interested in steampunk? Right? Are you interested in Star Wars? Are you interested in ancient Roman battles or ancient World War II battles? Are you interested in dwarves and elves and gnomes and dragons? And what are you interested? Find out what you're interested in. Ask some questions, and don't worry about whether you do it right or not. Just don't even worry about that part, because you don't have to do it right. When you're done at the end of the night and your friends are sitting around the table and they're like looking at you with their eyes are like, "What do you mean we got to stop now?" It just won't matter then, because they will have had a life-changing experience sitting around a table telling a story. So when you go look, ask questions. There's lots of good stuff on YouTube. What else?
The biggest thing I can say is don't be afraid to talk to people. The hardest thing can be finding a group and finding players for your own game, or whether you just want to join a game. So when you're at those gaming stores, don't be afraid to go up to someone and say hi. I know that can be difficult for some people, whether you're an introvert or an outrovert or somewhere in between. You got to be willing to take that first step and say hello to someone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. have a comment here from Captain Emo. He says, wear a D&D shirt. It helps a lot. I get people talking to me in stores about games all the time.
You know what? It is. It's crazy. If somebody comes up, I haven't had anybody really openly ask me any questions, but I've gone into like Warp 2 comics and stopped people dead in their tracks, and they're looking at Pathfinder stuff, or they're looking at another gaming system, and I'll simply ask them a question. What do you like about that system? What is it that attracts you to that? And you know what? They'll give you an answer, whether short or long. They'll tell you, there's this or this particular thing that I enjoy. I was introduced to D&D at a very young age. I'm 46 now, and you know what? I'm a D&D guy. And am I interested in playing other stuff? Sure, I don't mind trying other things, but I'll always come back to the old crutch, right? So, but yeah, ask questions and don't be afraid to talk to people. I know it's hard, but
you go out to a gaming night at any of the comic book stores in Edmonton that hosts tournaments and stuff.
Yep.
You will meet the people you play against or play with, and most of them will probably be willing to speak with you and possibly set up a game. Go on your Facebook, go talk to the people you went to high school with, 5 years ago, or maybe you just left high school. Maybe you're still in high school. That's another thing I love about D&D is it doesn't matter how old you are. You can use it to bring people back together. You just have to be willing to take that first step and talk to someone.
Yep.
Or another thing you can do as well is, especially with D&D, Wizards of the Coast actually have official D&D matches at certain stores throughout, I don't know,
throughout most cities in North America.
So you can go out and just find an Adventurers League, and it's just a drop in, drop out kind of campaign thing. So they don't really have much commitment. You just show up and you play.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I've looked into the structure of them. I'm not a fan of that structure, but it's a great place to start if you want to get into it.
Yep. Yeah, Adventurers League is definitely a place to start. Somebody will show you how to roll a character up, and away you go.
You guys are probably missing the biggest
thing
with online games now. There's Roll20. Like, you can literally go on D&D Beyond, ask people, hey, do you want to start a campaign? And just go on Roll20 and do it.
Absolutely.
Just join a Skype call.
Roll20 even has like game searching mechanics, and so there are DMs that post looking for players. I should do that. And so you can just hop on and just click join. Talk in with the DM, see if if it works for you, and just hop in, just go.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, so I would love to just keep chatting with you guys like all night
long about,
but we do have to move along. But I want to find out where people can find you guys on the web or wherever.
Take 20. You can find us on Twitter at Take20_D&D, and you can find us on YouTube at Take 20 Dungeons and Dragons, Take 20 D&D. We don't have an official website yet, but that'll be down the road.
I am actually working on building one.
Okay. That's new news. But good news.
Awesome. When it's finished, send us the address and we'll share it far and wide.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. All right.
We're
going to take another quick little break here, and we will get back to talking about some of the events that are happening in and around this Edmonton area. Okay, so like I said before, the Northern Nerdcast is a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATV. And if you go right now to albertapodcastnetwork.com, you guys can find a list of just some of the most amazing Alberta-made podcasts ever. Karen Unland has been doing such a fantastic job pulling all these great, amazing podcasts from all over Alberta, and that means not just in Edmonton, but from Calgary and from Airdrie or wherever. And
Red Deer, Fort McMurray.
yes, she's done an amazing job at pulling all these people from all over the place, and it's such a great network. And we've even been able to pull some awesome guests from the podcast network. So I would like to encourage everyone out there, if you guys can, to go and check out some more of the amazing podcasts that we do have on there. We do have a few new podcasts as well. We got A Branded World is now on there. And yeah, it offers a step-by-step guide and easy-to-implement advice on how to build meaningful brands that captivate audiences. So go on and check it out. Go to albertapodcastnetwork.com for all those amazing Alberta-made podcasts.
All right, Dan, hit us with the goods. What's on the docket? What's coming up? Where can people get their nerd fix?
Wow, we have so many awesome events happening over the next little while. I wanted, we've been talking about D&D all night, so I can't not talk about a D&D event that's happening in our city. There at Mission Fun and Games, there is a D&D 101 that you guys can go and check out, and this is happening on January 25th. And you guys can get your tickets on Eventbrite. Just check out D&D 101 Mission Fun and Games happening on January 25th. Also on January 25th, we have Dark Matters Game On. This is the TELUS World of Science's game, or not game night, but it is a game night. But it's their Dark Matters. This is the after hours event that they have. It's adult night at the TELUS World of Science. They have all sorts of drinks and all sorts of things happening. Last year, I went to the Game On event because, that's right up our alley. And it was such a great time. I got to hang out with Kelly Frost from the Edmonton Nerd List. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be there again this year. I may go over there and hang out with him. So go and check that out. This is happening on Thursday, January 25th at 7 o'clock to 10 at the TELUS World of Science. Beyond Board Paint Night is happening, and this is hosted by Beyond Board. And basically what it is are you guys tired of the old paint night themes? And you want to paint something different? Beyond Board Games and Events is doing their own themed paint night. And who doesn't love Star Wars? Mm-hmm. So they are going to have paint a stormtrooper paint night. So it's going to be pretty cool. So if you want to learn how to do a little bit of paint night or painting, but you want to have a little bit of a nerdy, geeky flair to it, go and check out Beyond Board's Paint Night, hosted by Beyond Board. Edmonton Nerd Night is happening number 40, and this is happening at the ATB Financial Arts Barn, and ATB being one of our lovely sponsors of the Nerdcast, and the the Alberta Podcast Network. So if you are nerdy at heart, which if you're listening to this show, that I'm assuming that you are, this is Nerd Night, and love is in the air and nerds can smell it. But rather than do what's expected, a box of chocolates, the flower, the breathless poetry, we're going to come together and enjoy the company of our fellow nerds and learn a thing or two of love, of the Lord of the Rings. Sorry, not the Lord of the Rings. Love in time of right now. I don't know how to. Anyways, so yes, it is like Valentine's Day. So Nerd Night is doing Valentine's Day. It's a date night, right? Go and check it out. We got Alberta Girls Engineering and Technology Summit that's happening here in Edmonton. And this is where if you are a female and you want to get into the tech industry in the Edmonton area, this is where you're going to go. And this is happening on February 23rd. And this is being held by Canada Learning Code Edmonton chapter. And this is happening at the Donado Innovation Center for Engineering, Jobber, and Bioware. That's where it's telling me that's where it is. And so, yeah, so if you are interested in working in our tech industry out here, that is a good, I know Bioware is going to be there. So yeah, definitely go check that out if you are a female and you're looking to get into tech. We also have March 4th. We got the Collector Con happening. If you're looking for that special something that you're like that toy that you missed from your childhood, that your mom threw out in the garbage can.
More pop figures to add to your collection.
This is the chance to go and check that out. They will have all your geeky needs. March 30th, we do have Video Games Live here in Edmonton. Video Games Live is like all the awesome music from the video games that you love on stage. And it's going to be an amazing time. This is happening at the Northern Alberta Jubilee Auditorium, and then happening on March 30th. We're going to move way down into August, but Fragapalooza has announced that they are going to be doing Fragapalooza on August 9th. So August 9th to 12th. So get ready.
Summer plans.
Summer plans.
Get those fingers ready.
Yeah. Start warming up. And that's 4 days of awesome gaming. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to Fragapalooza, but it's something else. 4 days of like hanging out, gaming all weekend. It's just craziness. All right.
A lot of fun.
So what?
A lot of fun.
It is. Thank you guys so much once again for joining us tonight. It's been a great time having you guys here. I love talking about RPGs, and I love talking about D&D. I love talking. Oh, it's great. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. And I'd just like to say, if anyone sees us out and about around town, Stony Plain, Edmonton, Spruce Grove area, don't be afraid to come say hi.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to stop us and ask us questions.
Awesome.
And, you'll find us at a Starbucks here or there. Absolutely. You'll find us there.
I'm Starbucks. I have taste. I actually go to Tim Hortons.
That's you don't have taste. That's why you shop.
I may see you guys around. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
I'll be definitely keeping an eye out for you now.
Well, yeah, stay in touch, and you know what? We might have room at the table for one more for a guest night.
I'm up for that. Definitely up for that.
You'll probably see me tooling around doing burnouts in the Walmart parking lot or something at some point.
Perfect.
No, absolutely. You know what? I think we might be able to put you. We might be able to put you at the table somewhere, buddy. Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Would you like to do that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, we'll stay in touch, and when I get something set up, I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good. I also wanted to say a special thanks to Josh Callie for our wonderful opener and closers that you've heard over the course of our podcast. He's done a fantastic job putting those together for us. So I wanted to say special thanks to Josh Callie. I want to say special thanks to Chelsea Thompson, co-host here, and Trina Schessel, our excellent producer who puts all our guests together and does so much work in the background. I want to say she's awesome.
Before we run away for good, if people want to watch this episode or get in touch with us or look at our event calendar, where can the lovely folks find us, Dan?
They can check us out on Twitter at northern_nerd, on facebook.com/northernnerd, youtube.com/northernnerdnetwork, and on our very own website, northernnerdnetwork.com. All right, so that's it. That's all. I want to thank everyone out there for watching and or listening to this edition of the Nerdcast, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
for listening to the Northern Nerdcast. Northern Nerdcast is a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. Check out their website at albertapodcastnetwork.com. For all things geeky and nerdy, including all of our social media platforms, go to northernnerdnetwork.com. Thanks again, and we appreciate your support.